Greetings, schools, and welcome to another talk about horror television. I'm so excited to start the new year off fresh with a brand new show. Well, new as far as this channel is concerned. Are you excited? So this show is called Night Visions, and it ran only for one season in the aughts. But let me tell you, this show is worth watching from beginning to end, and best of all, you can do so for free on YouTube. Night Vision was never released on DVD or picked up by a streaming service, so I'm glad to be bringing some much-deserved attention to this gem of a 2000s horror anthology, which I wouldn't have known about if it wasn't for an amazing viewer. I learned so much from you all. Thanks so much for the comments. Night Vision's episodes were an hour long and they consisted of two 30-minute segments each, so I'll only be covering one story at a time. Well, I can't cover my first episode of Night Visions without introducing you to our narrator, Henry Rollins, who doesn't say much, but I really like his one or two liners. Tonight I wanted to cover a really creepy one that stuck out to me. For those who travel frequently, or those who are traveling this evening perhaps, this episode is dedicated to you because tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are taking a look at the episode Rest Stop. This one features a group of 4 college students on an exciting road trip during a vacation from class. We have the pink Power Ranger, Amy Jo Johnson, who plays Sarah, driving the truck. We also have her brother in the passenger seat, Chuck. Then in the back seat, we have Sarah's bestie, Vicky, and sitting next to her is her boyfriend, Tim. Sarah's feeling generous and stops to pick up a hitchhiker named Andy, who happens to be none other than Jerry O'Connell. Wow, this episode had a great casting director. It's nice recognizing some faces here I usually don't when we're covering stuff from the 80s. The crazy kids and the charming hitchhiker pull off to a rest stop to take a pee break. To their surprise, there's some sort of swap meet going on, and there's vendors selling rare handmade knickknacks, like this pretty bracelet made out of rare stones. Sarah passes on it, understandably. Chuck and Tim mock the hippies, and when one of them compliments his jacket, Chuck's not nice about it at all.
Great jacket.
Yeah, like you could afford it.
Don't be like Chuck, what a skank. We cut back to the girls, and they're touching up their makeup and chatting it up about Sarah's new romantic interest. Sarah thinks he's cute, but Vicky thinks he's trashy, and she should not go for it. Out of nowhere, one of the scary hippies comes in and scares Sarah half to death.
Yes, it is. I love your hair.
Ladies, is this what goes on in the restroom? You pet each other's soft hairs? Nice. I'm strangely okay with that. So after that creepy moment, we cut to the men's room where the boys congregate and talk about, you guessed it, women and prideful, heated exchanges. Machismo, baby. So the ladies exit and call for the boys. They can't believe it, their car is gone. Someone stole it with all their stuff in it. What a rest stop nightmare, am I right? While Tim consoles Vicky on the loss of all of her winter attire, Chuck enters the men's room. We find something fishy in one of the stalls before he gets got by 2 figures in black. Sadly, no one hears his muffled yells. His sister is distracted by that charming young hitchhiker. After a loud noise creeps out of the men's room, Sarah's sisterly instincts kick in, and she goes to investigate. But when she finds her brother, he's hardly responsive. He can't speak, he's paralyzed. He isn't looking good at all. Vicky and Tim take to the road to go find help. Vicky reminds him they could have flown and avoided this whole shit show. They spot a pickup, and they do their best to flag them down for help. The truck isn't friendly though, they actively try to kill them. When the couple runs into the woods, they're followed, and a Rob Zombie track plays out of nowhere. I don't know, I like it, let's go. After a while of running to metal, Vicky loses Tim. He's completely out of sight. We cut back to the paralyzed Chuck and Sarah. Andy is still horned up and trying his best to seal the deal with Sarah to no avail, as she's freaked out about her brother. They hear a yell and go outside to investigate. Andy walks off into the woods, and Vicky runs to Sarah. Outside they hear the noise of the pickup truck approaching and slowly passes them by. Sarah tells Vicky to stay put, and she goes outside to investigate. She spots the pickup driving around still. When she goes back inside, Vicky's gone. Nightmare, nightmare, nightmare. Sarah hears her friend down underneath the floor of one of the stalls, so she slowly creeps down there to try and help her out. When she enters the main room, she's shocked by all the stuff she finds. In this creepy cave room, Sarah finds all of her friends paralyzed, just laying around the room. There's a noise and Andy walks in. He was a bad guy all along, a dirty hippie folk. He takes a big pair of scissors to the yuppie and cuts her beautiful soft hair off and collects it. He hands it to the woman who admired it before. She plans to make a scarf with it. And as for Tim's skin, they're using it to make a fresh drum. The hippies use every part of their victims to turn around for a profit. They're very eco-friendly. Love a good cold-hearted capitalist hippie tale, especially one with this cast and this bizarre of a take on it. I'm so happy that this is the first episode of Night Visions I'm covering because this one will always stick out to me whenever I travel around mountainous regions. I'm gonna rate this one, I would rate it a perfect 10 out of 10, but I'm gonna do a 9.5 out of 10. It gets a few points off just because after watching it like 7 times, there's some what the heck moments in this one. Like for one, how did the hippies garner the car keys to steal the car? Why did no one question the legitimacy of the hitchhiker when there was no broken down truck anywhere near him? He's handsome, but still shady, my dear Sarah. I think this one is a perfect introduction to this outstanding horror anthology series. It's such a shame it only aired 1 season, and I'm gonna make sure to cover all of my favorite episodes. It's time to thank my patrons for supporting today's video. For just a few bucks a month, you can help support the channel over on Patreon. The link will be down in the description. But even a simple comment or a like is more than enough, and I appreciate it dearly. Thanks everyone. I hope your New Year's was magical. I have a feeling 2022 is going to be the year we've all been dreaming of. Take care and stay spooky.